Hello and welcome to This Week in Privacy. My name's Alexis Katsifidis and here are your regulatory highlights for this week. The European Commission published its communication on the 2-year application of the GDPR as well as questions and answers on the 24th of June 2020. In particular, the Commission highlighted that the GDPR had met most of its objectives by offering citizens a strong set of enforceable rights and by creating a new European system of governance and enforcement. However, the Commission also noted that whilst DPAs were working together closely as the EDPB, there was room for improvement, particularly in relation to the handling of cross-border cases, and that the level of fragmentation in relation to member states' laws needed close monitoring. The Commission further outlined that it would report separately on its adequacy decisions following the CJU's judgment in the Schrems II case, and that together with the EDPB, it was working on a comprehensive modernization of standard contractual clauses. It also invited the EDPB to further streamline the approval process for BCRs, finalize the guidance on codes of conduct and certifications as tools for transfers, and clarify the interplay between the rules on international data transfers. The Council d'État issued its decision partially annulling the French Data Protection Authority's guidelines on cookies and other trackers. In particular, the Council found that CNIL could not legally include a ban on cookie walls and reasoned that while the requirement of free consent to the use of cookies is enshrined under the GDPR, by imposing a blanket prohibition on cookie walls based on the principle of free consent, CNIL had exceeded its legal powers in the context of guidelines. Conversely, the Council upheld the guidelines provision on giving users specific information before obtaining consent, as well as the guidelines provisions on the ease of withdrawing consent to cookies and on informing users about cookies. CNIL highlighted that it would comply with the Council's decision and adjust the guidelines, and that it would adopt a recommendation on the methods for collecting consent to cookies after September 2020. In the UAE, the Federal National Council announced on the 23rd of June that a draft law on consumer protection had been approved. In particular, the draft law introduces consumer rights such as the protection of privacy and security of data, not using such data for the purposes of promotion and marketing, as well as rights to seek compensation for personal or material damages. The draft law applies to all goods and services within the UAE and states that advertisements and contracts related to the consumer must be in Arabic, but adds that other languages may be used alongside. That's all for This Week in Privacy. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next week.